Right. Okay. So hope you don't have any questions regarding any more questions regarding that, Lalindi. So I'm moving to the third question. So it's the Excel one, right? So it is asking about some formulas regarding the given Excel sheet. So the Excel sheet is about the income and expenses of a person, and he's receiving some money from his or her children, and he spent those things, and the receivings from the dollars are being converted to the rupees, and then the expenditures and income uh, uh, are given in rupees, right? So here what they are asking is money received from the children in B6 cells in rupees. So they're asking to write the formula or the function in respective cells to produce the following information. So simply it's going to be like this. So money received from the children in B6. I think you two have done the Excel question by assuming that I am explaining this. Has any one of you done the Excel question? Yeah, great, great. So like money received from the children in B6 cell in rupees. So like money received from the children in US dollars are there in the D13, right? Which means the $50, and currency conversion rate like US dollar is equal to the rupee 108 point, like 8 and 35 cents. So like to convert the rupee value of the money which is received from the children, we should multiply those two, and that multiplication should be written under the B6 cell. So it's going to be equal D13 star D12, or the other way around, equal D12 star D13. And total monthly income in B11 cell, that's an easy one, right? So like B11, yeah, you can use the sum function if you want, and you can say B equal sum B3 colon B6, because B column contains the income figures, or else you can just write the formula. Yes, Himanadi, equal D12 into D13, that is correct. For the second answer, you can go for with the sum function, or like the general formula, like equals, all the cells are being added, like B3 plus, B4 plus, B5 plus, B6. And in the third answer, they ask in total monthly expenditure in B12. That is easy again. The the figure of the expenditures are in the D column, from D3 to D9. So it should go like equal sum D3 colon D9, or you can go for the equation equal D3 plus D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus D7 plus D8 plus D9, right? And regarding the fourth part, monthly saving in the monthly savings in the B13 cell. Just a moment, bro. Hello. Good morning. දැන් දැටුනේ මිස් හරි. මම ලින්ක් එක ආයි දාන්න. පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න අපිට 2008 පේපර් එක කතා කරගෙන යනකම මම දැන් ආයි ලින්ක් එක දාන්න කනෙක්ට් වෙන්නකෝ මම අරගන්නම් ඇතුළට. Right, okay. Okay. Dura, just give me a second. Right, there is one another join in with us. Let's just give her some time to get connected. So meanwhile, let's go through the Excel part. So monthly savings in B13. So savings, in general, we know how to calculate the savings. We should subtract our expenditure from the income. So like that means expenditures are in B11 cell and the sorry incomes are in B11 cell and expenditures are in B12. So simply we can say equal B11 minus B12, right? And there is something I need you to show you in here. Like if you are asked to do the this particular savings, taking the savings figure. Yes. Yes. Right. The new one is here. දුව මාව ඇහෙනවද clearly? පුතේ මං කියන එක ඇහෙනව නම් chat එකේ මට reply එකක් දෙන්නකෝ. So it's okay. දුව මාව ඇහෙනවද? දුවට screen එක පේනවද දුව? අපි screen එක share කරලා තියෙන්නේ. All right, let's proceed until she responds. So I'm what I was talking about is like a subtraction, like the monthly savings need to, if they ask you to calculate from a sum function, there is a special way of writing it, right? It's better you know about it. As I remember, one of the question paper have asked that, right? So let me take the Excel. Right now, if I take two figures like 20 and 15, and assume that I need the subtraction of these two to the A2 cell. So the way I'm going to write it using the sum function is like this. So like your value is on the A1, right? I'm going to subtract A1 minus B1. So that's the way I'm going to calculate the difference between A1 and B1. So when we are using the sum function, we can give A1 as a reference. And since we need to subtract the B1 from A1, we need to use the minus sign with the B1. So it's minus B1 should be there. Right. Yeah, Himanadi. what is the answer that you have wrote to it? B11 minus B13. You have written for the third part. Neither. Right. We'll come to that point. Are you getting this? What I'm saying in here? So to take the differences between two cells, we can take A1 comma minus B1, and we can't use the colon here, right? So like you can say A1 colon minus B1, which I need to check actually, right? Try whether it is working. A1 sorry. A1 colon minus B2. No, they are saying they can't do that, right? So remember, it's the comma always when you need to deal with the these particular things, right? Okay, so yeah, someone has, yeah, Vihansa, right? Okay, right. So to Vihansa, yes, Dua, we are talking about how to write the sum function with the minus values. So it's better you go through, right? We are discussing the third question of the 2008 paper, right? So instead of writing like the subtraction of A1 and B1 in this manner, right? This is the way you can write it generally. We can write it using some function in this manner as well. So like A1, since we need to subtract the 15 from it, we can have minus B1. So it's always the comma separator you should use. You can't give the range, right? Like A1 colon minus B1, that cannot be given, right? It's not valid when you are using the minus values. And Himanadi, to the question that you ask, so like B11 minus B13 for the third one. For the third question, Dua. For the third question, total monthly expenditure in expenditure. No, my dear. So you can't, if you subtract B11 minus B13. Okay, yeah, that's tricky. Dua, it's going to be like this. Now, yeah, as the way you say it, it can be taken as a correct one, but the problem is total monthly expenditure. Yeah, your argument is correct, Dua, right? B11 minus B13 will give you the figure in the B12, right? Definitely it will give you the figure in B12. But it's better you go on that manner too, because if we assume that we are like constructing this Excel sheet, so first of all we are like listing down the incomes and the expenditures, then we take the total of the income by considering the income figures, and we total the expenditures by considering the expenditure figures, right? What you have written is not wrong, but it is not the way we are doing it, right? So you have to follow the you have to assume that you are creating this particular Excel sheet, right? So in that manner, like we will calculate the total of the income, then we will calculate the total of the expenditure, then only we are going to calculate the total of the savings. Did you got that too? Right. Okay, so moving forward, so they are asking about the fifth one. Yeah, so there you are going to receive a formula which is called round, and it is not in your syllabus, right? So you can take the marks for the fifth part Right, okay, right, okay. Himanadi and yeah, it's like this. Don't give more than one answer for a particular part, right? So like that will be in some part it's going to be a disadvantage for you. It's better you write the most sure answer, right? When you are writing the things, right? Sure මේක විතරක් ලියන්න, right? දෙකක් ලියන්න යන්න එපා පුතේ. සමහර වෙලාවට දෙකක් ලිව්වම වැරදි දානවා, right? So be careful, right? Okay, so people, the last part is asking about saving as a percentage of total income rounded to one decimal place, which is not in your syllabus, but I'll show you the things, right? But it's better you know about it, right? So yeah, so I'll put the function in here. So like I'm saying equal round කරනවා කියන්නේ අපි වට යනවා කියන එක ළඟ ගණන් වලට, right? So now let me yeah, hold on, let me take this figure as 16 because I need some lengthy floating point value. So I'm just saying a1 divided by b1, right? So my answers are going to be, oh my god, yeah, it's been divided very well. Let's say 17. Yeah, so like my answer is going to be something like this. Right now, if I needed to round this to a 2 decimal points, I can use the same formula inside the round function. So round function is equal round. I'm going to give you the same calculation, which is the a1 divided by b1. That's the calculation. So that's what they are asking to the number. So they're asking a number, and as the second argument, they're asking for how much of floating point numbers that you need to round this, right? So if I say 2, can දශම ස්ථාන දෙකකට අපිට round කරන්න කියන්න පුළුවන් if we provide 2, right? And if we press enter, it's going to be 1.18. So it's been rounded to the 2 decimal points. So if I change my formula to 4 decimals, then it's going to give me 4 decimals, right? So round function containing 2 things. First parameter, we call this parameter or the arguments. So the first arguments ask what is the number, and the second arguments after a comma is asking for how many digits or how many floating points that you need to round this. And if you don't need any floating points, you can just say 0. So it will round to a value which has no decimal points. So got that, people? This is how it happens. Now this is not in your syllabus, right? But it's better you know, since we are like, those are the things that we can learn from the past papers, right? In case if they have thrown something like this, you will be able to survive, right? Okay, how about the others? Did you got what I was saying? Okay, Lalindi, how about the others? Like Vihansa, is it clear for you too? And අලුත් දුවගේ නම මට ක්ලියර් නෑ. දුව HI කියලා විතරයි තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ. Oh, okay. දුවට සමහරවිට zoom පොඩ්ඩක් විතර new ඇති දුවකින් respond එකක් එන්න පරක්කු වෙන්නේ. Never mind. So like I'll contact you after the class. Right, okay. I'm taking the one. Yes, right, okay. Uh, this is Vihansa, right? It's not Vihasna, right? I'm keeping your name as Vihansa Dua, like doesn't matter. I think you have participate on the previous lessons as well. නැත්නම් අලුත් දුවගේ යාළුවෙක් කෙනවා කිව්වා යාළුවද මේ ඉන්නේ චුට්ටක් කන්ෆර්ම් කරන්න. All right, anyway, we'll move forward, right? Okay, it's like okay, Hasna. It's like I think I have got your name in the other way around. I think I have written it as Vihansa, right? Okay, Dua. Right. So the anyone who has done the fourth question, the flow chart one. No one has done it. Okay, Himanadi, you have done it. Okay, go. Okay, let's go for it. So the what they're asking in the very first place is to figure out what are the first three values and last two numbers displayed by this, right? So let me take the question as well, right? Right. So this was the question. Okay, to get to know about the first and the first three and the last two things on your question, we need to hand trace it, right? So let's hand trace it and see what's going to be there, right? All right, so they are asking for the first three and the last two numbers. So the first three numbers, to do this, we need to do our hand tracing part. So let's start. X equals 1. So when you are doing the hand tracing, you need a column for each and every variable. So you are taking a variable for X and it is given 1 since we are in the second step, and it says display. So if it says something like display, you need a column for the display as well. right? And if they ask to display x, so you are going to display the x. So when x is 1, 1 is displayed, right? Then x is like what? Increased by 2. So that means 1 will become 3, right? And the question is asked, is x larger than 100? So the answer is no, so goes upward and displays x again, right? So now when we are going upward means one iteration is done. So like iteration happens from this point to this point, right? It is a one round. So when we are going up means when you are coming down again, that means the second round. So for the first round, excuse me. So for the first round, it's going to be x value is going to be 3. So 1 is displayed and x value is going to be 3, right? And for the second round, so you display x, so x value is 3 now, and increase the x value by 2, so 5, right? So the first three value will be 1, 3 and 5. When you go upward again, so like now the x is 5, they are checking the condition whether x is larger than 100. So it says no. Then it's going to display the x, and we'll get increment by x will increment by another 2. So the first three value that you are going to see is 135. So you have to figure out the pattern here. So the pattern is for a single round, like එක වටයක් යනකොට එක iteration එකක් යනකොට you are going to display for the very first time you are going to display 1, right? So this is going to be your first display. Then in that round x is going to increment to 3. So මේ දෙන්න එකට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. Then at the next round 3 is going to display and it is increment to the 5. ඔය දෙන්න එකට සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. So in the next round 5 is going to display and x is going to increment to the 7. ඔය දෙන්න එකට වෙන්නේ, right? So if you continue this pattern in some part, now you can understand it is being increment as the odd numbers, right? So like 7, 9, 11, likewise it will get increased. So if you think about the 95, when it is increased to the 95, when the time it's increased to the 95, I'm sorry, right? Before that 93 should displayed. So 93 will be displayed, then it will be increased to the 95. So then 95 will be displayed and it will be increased to the 97. And then 97 will be displayed, it will be increased to the 99. Still the condition is correct, right? X is not larger than 100. So once 99 is displayed, hello baby, good morning. Right, when it is displayed the 99, then it will get increased to the 101, right? Then and there it's going to end the loop, right? People, are you getting this? මේක තේරුණාද? තේරුණ නැත්නම් කියන මම ආයෙ explain කරන්නම්. Right, okay, how about others? Right, okay. So they are asking for the first three values and the last two numbers displayed. So the first three displayed is right over here, which is 1, 3, and 5. Last two displayed is right over here, 97 and 99, right? So how's the marking scheme says? Yeah, so marking scheme is the same numbers. 1, 3, 5 displays as the first three numbers, and last two displays as 97 and 99, right? So if you got those two correct, like have 4 marks, because it has very big workings for that, right? And to the previous question, in the second the Excel question, you are going to receive 2 marks for each part, and the last part you can have the marks if you done it or not, right? Because it is out of syllabus, right? And here for the first three numbers, you are it's better you do like this. For the first three numbers you are having 3 marks, and the last two numbers you are getting 2 marks, so 5 marks for that particular part. Right. And they're asking to write the pseudocode that corresponding to the logic given in the flow chart. So it's easy. So what we have to do is we only need to match the things, right? So how we are going to match the things? It's like this. So start will be written as begin, and x equal 1 will be written as it is. And now we are inside the loop. So this particular part, when you are writing something like this, so now you need to represent the loop, right? So when you are writing the pseudocode, you can't write the loop condition at the bottom, right? You can if you use a repeat until thing, but if you are going to use a while, so then you have to write it at the very top. So while, and remember people, now this is iterating on the no side. If it is iterating on the no side, when it comes to the pseudocode, while condition should be flipped to its opposite. It is because you can enter into the while loop only if the condition is true, right? Condition එක true නම් විතරයි while එක ඇතුළට එන්න පුළුවන් pseudocode එකේදී. Flow chart එකේ you can flow in any direction, right? Because it is a graphical representation. But when you are writing into the pseudocode, you should always have something which represent true inside the while loop, but regarding the while loop, because then and there only you can come into the while loop. Otherwise you won't be able to come inside the while loop, right? Then we are no bad thing and okay, condition is false. So we have to flip the condition. So the opposite of this condition is going to be what? X less than or equals 100, right? That should be there, right? මොකද මෙයාගේ no වෙනවා නම් මෙයාගේ years කරගන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමය තමයි ඕක. Yes, I'm getting a question. Yeah, so Lalindi, if you are using repeat until, you can use the very same condition, and that condition will be declared at the bottom of the loop. That means at the end of the loop, right? Because repeat until works until the condition is false. Repeat until එකේදී පල්ලෙහා ලියන condition එක false වෙලා තියෙනකන් තමයි repeat වෙන්නේ. ඒක true වෙච්ච ගමන් නතර වෙනවා. So you can have the very same condition, right? So once you got the condition, then only the thing that you need to do is you go the way which the flow chart shows you. So after the condition, this is the first thing that you need to do. And this is the second thing that you need to do. Yes, Dua. You can use the repeat until as well, Dua. They haven't said to they haven't said you must write this using only while, no. So there is no problem. You can have the marks for the repeat until as well. I'm going to show you the repeat until how it happens. Right. So like once you write this one, then simply you have to say what? Display x and x equals x plus 2 and end while should be there since it is a pseudocode, and then the very end. Right? Did you got this, everyone? Right, great. So the repeat until can be written in the very same way, like begin x equal 1 will be there anyway, and here you should have the word called repeat, and then you have to say the things that need to be done. So like display x equals x plus 2. Then here in the until, you have to say x larger than 100. And then there is no end repeat or anything because repeat and until limit the block. Then you only need to have end. Right? So likewise, you can write it from the while loop as well as using the repeat until. Right? So the Himanadi, now in the marking scheme, they also went with the, no, they have gone with the correct one. Now the problem is now in this question, if you omit the equal sign, still you are going to have the very same answer, right? Because the loop is going to break when the x is 101. Right? ඒක නිසා ඔයාගේ අතින් equal එක miss වුණාට there is no harm happens to the logic. But the problem is we have gone through, or like we have අපි පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන practice එක වැරදි practice එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. මොකද if this loop මෙයාව 100 වුණොත් then අපේ loop එකේ හැටියට අපි hand trace කරපු විදිහට කවදාවත් මෙයා 100 එකට එන්නේ නැහැනේ. From 99 it jumps to the 101. But think about a place where it receives 100 ආවොත්, so your answer is still no for the condition. 100 larger than 100. No. It is equal, no? So you can't have the yes answer. You are going to have no answer. So that means in case if we are getting 100, still we are able to iterate. ඒකම එතකොට මේ පැත්තේ reflect වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? So these things will happen either it is less than or it is equal. තේරුණාද හිමනදී? Right? ඒක නිසා equal නොතිබුණොත් ලකුණු අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්. But for this particular logic, it won't do any harm. Right? So remember, when you are flipping a thing, if it is larger than, the opposite of it is less than or equal. If it is larger than or equal, the opposite of it will be less than. Logically, if something larger than 100 means the value is going to be 101, 102, 103, likewise. So the opposite of it should contain the 100. So we can't say x less than 100 only. We have to say x less than or equals to 100. So then and there it will contain the 100 and the less than part. Right? So if you just say x less than 100, so there is no solution, or like there is no nothing to be done when x is 100. Right? ඒක නිසා opposite එක ගන්නකොට නිතරම less than නම් larger than or equal තමයි opposite එක. Larger than or equal කියන එකක opposite එක වෙන්නේ less than. Right? So it's better you take the logic. Right? Okay, so I think it's clear with you people, right? So the marking part, if you have written the pseudocode correctly, you can have 3 marks for that, right? So in case if you are missing something, let me like for Himanadi, you reduce 1 mark if you got x less than 100, like that means you are receiving 2 marks only for that question. And if others got anything, if any alternative answers are there, so let me know. So you can write it either from the while or from the repeat until. All right, so moving to the third part. State how to modify the given flowchart to display all even numbers. Yeah, so now this displays the odd numbers. They're asking how to show all even numbers. So the only difference that you need to do is you are equaling, or like you are assigning 2 to the x. Previously they have assigned the 1 to the x in the question. එක දාලා පටන් ගත්ත නිසා තමයි 1 3 5 කියලා continue. So එකට දෙකක් එකතු වෙනවා, so likewise it's going to increase. So if you say x equal 2 here instead of 1, so 2 will be displayed, then 4 will be displayed, 6 8, likewise it's going to display until the 100. And in here still 100 is being displayed as well, because when x is equal to 100 larger than 100, so the answer is still no. So it goes 100 displayed, and 102 x will be increased to 102, then it's going to exit the loop. So the only difference that you need to do is making the x equals 2 instead of x equals 1. So if you have done it correctly, take 2 marks. Okay, so moving forward, anyone who have done the 5th question? Right, okay, so here we are going to discuss that. Okay, it says it is a well-known fact that the business, okay. Yeah, so they are talking about an e-mart where I do the retailing part through the new technologies, right? So what they are saying is, being one of the newest and the foremost technologies, the internet technology has made the business community aware of how easily and the World Wide Web, which operates through the internet, can be utilized for today, yes, even retail shop maintain website for years. Yes, e-mart is a retailer who intended to adopt the new technology described above to expand its services over the web. Yeah, list 2 advantages e-mart would get by having the website. Yeah, so like having a website means you are having a shop which is open 24 hours 365 days without any barriers, right? So like you can say it is become 24-hour open in 365 days. Customer can find products from anywhere and at any time they want, right? And they can do the online ordering and purchasing processes, right? and can be accessed from any geographical location. And the shop, the particular website is open to the entire globe, right? And those kind of benefits, right? If you have written any different answers, alternative answers, let me know. Right, so they are asking for 2. If you have written can save their time, yes, that means the customers. Yes, Himanadi. So like if you got 2 answers correctly, have 2 marks. Right, and the second part, they are asking list 4 items of information that can be provided to customers through their website. Yeah, there are many, right? So like here they have listed roadmap and the company information. So like you can say profile of the company, address of the company, telephone number of the company, email of the company, and the product information, like whether the products are old, or like whether those are the second-hand ones or the new ones, and or the upcoming ones, right? And information of the sales promotion, right? What are the discounts, what are the benefits that you are getting out of it, right? And opening hours, holidays, those kind of details. So any 4 of them, right, will give you 4 marks. If you got any alternative answers, just let me know. Right. So moving forward, list 2 features that can be incorporated into the website to make it attractive. Yeah, so like we can do many things. You can have animations inside it, you can have graphics inside it, like those should be like eye-catching graphics, and which are not a disturbing things, right? So it's better you say use of appropriate graphics or appropriate animations, right? And providing searching facilities, comparing facilities, right? So like when those features are there, it will be very much usable and user friendly to the users, right? So they will remember your site. Okay, if I visit to this particular one, I can compare the things and see whether it is okay. So like the sites like eBay, it gives us the facility to compare the things, right? So if we are purchasing a mobile phone, we can compare the mobile phone with some other model and with the same model with different prices, right? So we can see what are the features which are being increased in particular version and which are being decreased, and whether it is worthy, right? And what are the other options that we can go, right? So those kind of things, like as they say, design an eye-catching homepage by incorporating suitable graphics and animations, providing an efficient means of searching and providing up-to-date information, even providing the comparison facility inside the website, right? And yeah, those kind of things, right? They are asking list 2 features that can be incorporated into the website to make it attractive. And again, you can give it like this as well. You can say the website can be incorporated with different languages, right? You can incorporate a Sinhala site, you can incorporate an English site, you can incorporate a Tamil site. So like in the trilingual manner, right? That can also be given to this particular site, right? So those type of answers. So you can take marks, 2 marks for 2 features. If you get any alternative ones, just let me know. Yeah, e-banking facilities, yes. Yeah, that can also be there, like e-banking facilities. Yes, those are the payment options, right? Good, that can be incorporated as well. Yes, Vyasna. GPS map. Himana, the GPS map is going to be, hold on. Okay. Yeah. Can be taken, but it's a very එච්චරම සලකන්න පුළුවන් point එකක් නෙවෙයි, but still to recognize the location, it's better we have a map with GPS. So yeah, you can have but those are the least features, right? Like මුලින්ම කියනකොට graphics and animations, you have to talk about those things too, right? Get the maps for the moment, but be aware of the things what you need to talk about, right? Okay, then the last part, step 2 methods to increase the awareness of the website among the public. Yeah, there are many things that you can do. You can advertise it in the traditional way, or you can advertise it in the websites, in other websites, right? And you can advertise through the search engines, through the social media, right? You can send SMSs, right? And you can do email marketing, like sending the emails regarding the website, right? And yeah, those kind of things, right? So you can you can say the traditional ways of doing it, like advertising on the newspapers, radios, televisions, handouts and posters, and the internet based things, right? Actually not the internet based, like electronic media based things, like email campaigns, SMS campaigns, and the social media like marketings, right? Those kind of things, right? So if you got any alternative answers, let me know. Yeah, so it's, you can take first mark 2 parts dua, second part 4 marks, third part 2 marks, and fourth part 2 marks. So you can calculate out of 10. Right. Who have done the 6th question, right, in the short note part? Okay, anyone? If no one has done, we can just skip that and go for the 2009 paper and see what are the things that we need to discuss. We can get ready to the things. Right, okay. How about the other two? Vihasna, have you done the 6th one? Yeah, Vihasa. Okay, dia අලුත් දුව මට නම තාම හොයාගන්න විදියක් නැහැ පුතේ. එතන අලුත් දුවට Zoom එකේ communicate කරන එක පොඩ්ඩක් අලුත් මං හිතන්නේ. Right. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go for the 2009 paper, and I need to know what are the questions that you went wrong, right? So has everyone done the 2009? Yes, what's the problem? What's the problem? Yeah, you got a boo-boo. Okay. Oh. Right, people, if you have done the 2009 paper, I'm going to show you the marking scheme for the MCQ. So please mark the things and let me know the incorrect answers, right? there are some out of syllabus questions, and that particular paper is very what a tiring paper to do. Like that's the most tiring paper I have faced so far, right? ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කරනකොට ටිකක් කියවන්න ගොඩක් තියෙනවා වගේ එහෙම පොඩි feeling එකක් එයි. So just mark it through and tell me what are the incorrect questions. Yeah, so this is for the 2009. Yeah, can I have the confirmation whether you have done this or not? In the very first, has everyone done it? I think I have informed you to continue the papers. Right, okay. Right, okay, good. මම හිතන්නේ අලුත් දුවට මම 2008 එක ගැන විතරයි කිව්වේ පුතේ මට මතක තිබුණේ නැහැ ඔයාලට මේක ගැන කියන්න දුව ගෙදරදී කරලා මට incorrect answers ටික forward කරන්න. මොකද අද ඔක්කොම ටික කතා කරාට බැරි වෙයි කොහොමද 2009 වල අපි මොනවාද incorrect questions ටික කියලා බලාගමු. Then we can have this map to how to done the things. Vihasna, have you done with the 2009 tour? Okay. So it's better you go through the things. Lalindi, I'm getting your incorrect ones. Okay. All right, Himanadi. Is it very different, Himanadi? That can be happened to her. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't find the original marking scheme for the moment. Let's go through and see whether there can be mistakes. Let's see how it's going to happen. So Vihasna and the Alut Dua, you have to do the 2009 paper and you have to mark it, only the MCQs, right? And you have to send me the incorrect questions. Today we are going to discuss the incorrect ones which we are receiving from Lalindi and the Himanadi, right? So next week I'm going to add your questions as well to this place, right? And people, please try the 2000, the people who haven't done the 2009, complete it. And people who have done the 2009, complete 2010, right? So people who haven't completed the 2009, you have to complete 2009 plus 2010 both, right? line week paper that's what I'm asking for you to do, right? So you only need to spend 3 hours with IT, right? To keep things on the track. All right, Himanadi, you marked it and give me the answers to the incorrect questions so we can proceed. Oh my God. So is it very different, Himaladi? 8 questions. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Let's go through and see, Himaladi. Right. It's better you put those questions as well, so we can see how the things are going to happen. Lalindi, what is the publication that you are using, though? Is it the Master Guide? I'm having Vijay Tunga publication. Yeah, sure, though. Sure. I think it's not the original one. I have searched for some things, but in the internet they have given one of these books. Right, okay, though. Right, okay. So, Himanadi, can we have the questions that you went wrong so we can proceed? Bedside kabaddi. Bedside kabaddi. PT passat winner. Okay. So, Himanadi, I'm receiving yours 21, 24, 26, 29, 6, 23, and 7. Right, okay. So we'll proceed with these questions, right? Yeah. Paper is hard, people. I can admit that. Don't bother. Generally it is hard, this paper, so don't worry about it. And there were some conflicts inside the paper as well. So let's practice. Don't bother about it, right? And Lalindi, you have said 5, 23, 32, and 35. So 5, 23, 32, and 35. Right. Okay, let's go through. All right, so starting from the 4th question, just confirm me whether you all are having the paper with you, other two, Vihasna and the Aludua. Okay, anyway, I'm going to share the paper so you can go through it. Right, okay. All right, the fourth question. So the fourth question is talking about, consider the following statement given below. Yeah, this was one of the places where it went wrong. Right? අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් මේක කතා කරනකොට හරියට struggle වුණා. So, and I have reviewed it with some other teachers as well, whether this is correct or not. So they have given the same opinion. So like this says sequential access file cannot be stored in a floppy disk, right? So floppy disk is something which containing a magnetic tape inside it, and let me take the drawings I have done yesterday. There is a problem with my whiteboard today. Okay, never mind. I'll draw it for you in another one. Right. So yeah. So when we think about the storage devices that they are talking about, the hard disk is something like this, right? It's having a spindle, and around the spindle there are many platters, right? So like this, right? These are called platters, and each and every platter is cooperated with a head. Head is the tip at this arm, right? And it is connected to the actuator. So this is a head, and this is what we call the actuator. So platter is going to turn in the circular manner, and the head is going to turn to the left right manner, right? So when the hard disk need to read something, it finds the specific platter, and it will be rotated to the place where the head can move, right? And hold on, my direction is incorrect. This is not the way that the header is going to move. It's going to move to the forward and to the backward, right? So the correct place will be selected, and the head will be moved when the correct cluster came under the head, right? එතකොට platter එක කැරකෙනවා, head එක ඉස්සරහට පිටිපස්සට move වෙනවා කියවන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට. So this can do the sequential access and the random access. Now sequential access means you are reading things which are contiguous. This is called the sequential access, right? One after the other. And random access means you are reading things here and there, right? So this is random. This is sequential, right? So hard disk can do the both sequential and random, right? Yeah, Himanadi, it's like this. We are just talking about the sequential and the random access. So like when the structure of the hard disk is like this, it has the platters which are similar to your CDs, right? So both surface can be write the data. So there is a component called head, which is fixed to an actuator. So platters will be rotated, and actuator will go through and read the things in the back and forth manner, right? මෙතන පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා වගේ, right? So එහෙම වුණාම the hard disk can do the random access as well as sequential access. ඒ කියන්නේ එක ළඟ තියෙන ඒවා දැන් head එක එහෙට මෙහෙට move වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ එක ළඟ තියෙන ටික කියවනවා කියන එක. platter එක කැරකිලා එක එක තැන් පෙන්නනවා කියලා කියන්නේ so it can go for the random access as well, right? So the hard disk can be do both sequential and random. But when it comes to the magnetic tape and when it comes to the what we call the other one that they were talking about was the so first one they say sequential access files cannot be stored in floppy disk, right? But now that's a very doubtful one because sequential access files, that means they should be accessed one after the other. So when you are having things like the floppy disk, you can do that thing, right? So sequential access files cannot be stored in the floppy disk is an incorrect one. It can, right? So floppy disk is the very same way, it is behaving the very same manner of the hard disk behave, right? Age ඇතුලේ තියෙන පොඩි magnetic tape එකකින් කපපු රවුමක් වගේ tape එකක්. So that tape can be accessed sequentially as well as randomly, right? And so the first one is incorrect. Not cannot be, it can be stored. Random access files cannot be stored in a magnetic tape. Again, that is incorrect as well. Random access files cannot be stored in magnetic tape. No, it can be stored in magnetic tape, right? Because random access කියන එක magnetic tape එකකත් like if you need to get a picture of a magnetic tape, think about a cassette. අපි CD එකක් නෙවෙයි cassette player එකකට දාන cassette එක ගැන අර පටියක් තියෙන දුඹුරු පාට, that is a magnetic tape, right? So if you need to do the random access, you can use the controller of the cassette. So you can forward, you can go here and there and ask it to play. And again, someone can argue it's the controllers that it controlled, but when it comes to the head just reading the things sequentially, right? එතකොට B කියන එකේනා අපිට it's a partially correct and partially incorrect thing, right? Random access කියලා argue කරන්නත් පුළුවන්, random access නෙවෙයි කියලා argue කරන්නත් පුළුවන්, right? So the C part, both sequential access files and random access files can be stored in a compact disk. That's a concrete correct answer, right? එතකොට ඒ නිසා ඕකට exact answer එකක් අපිට කතා කරන්න බෑ. We know, definitely we know the answer A is wrong. So it should be B and C or C only, right? So for the fourth one, if you got so what are the answer that they have given for the fourth one is fourth, B and C only. So but still you can go for the C only as well. That means you can't find the answer in here, right? So yeah, Lalindi, what was the answer that you went with? It's the fourth. Yeah. Himanadi. Third one, it's A and C, right? So the A can be taken as a definitely incorrect one. So the most appropriate means the best answer out of these four is the fourth one that we can use. But still, someone can say B is wrong, right? Make a chutak paper එක හරි jumble. So yeah. Now get to know about that Himanadi. So it will get clear, right? Okay, so the fifth one, the management of a certain cafeteria expects to offer a better service to their customers. As their first step, they want to find out how long it has to kept open to serve foods to all customers during lunchtime. They hope to input the following data into the computer with the relevant software in this regard: the number of customers using the cafeteria during lunchtime, the number of cashiers, the average time that a customer spends waiting in the queue. Yeah, so the number of customers using the cafeteria during the lunchtime, yes, we need that to have the idea to make this service a better one, right? කී දෙනෙක් එනවද කොච්චර එනවද කියලා දැනගන්න ඕනේ හරි calculation එකක් කරනවා නම්. The number of cashiers, and again that is also relevant, right? ඒ කියන්නේ එක cashier එකයි තියෙන්නේ, ඒකෙන් ඇතිද නැත්නම් දෙකක් තියෙනවා, දෙකකින්ද මේක වෙන්නේ, තුනකින්ද කීයකින්ද වෙන්නේ කියන එක දැනගන්න ඕනේ. So we can decide whether to increase it or decrease it, right? The average time that a customer spend waiting in the queue, again that is needed, right? So according to the scenario, fourth one should be the answer, right? But in my marking, it is not the fourth one. For the fifth, they have given the second one, A and C only, but it should be the fourth one, right? So if you got the fourth one as your answer, you mark it as a correct one because it's very logical, right? So for the fifth answer, it should be the fourth one. And how about the people from the other publications? Do you got answer as the fourth one for the fifth? Yes. So it should be the fourth one. It should be the fourth one, right? Yeah. Great. Okay. So the sixth one, traveling of two trains in opposite direction through a single track tunnel in a railway can be used as an example to explain. Yeah. Now this is a direct one. So like you are having a single tunnel, two trains are coming from both the sides. So if they need to cross the tunnel, only one train can travel at a time. So if you consider the train as a data, tunnel as a medium, so that data is traveling through that medium one at a time, like for one direction at a time, right? දෙපැත්තෙන් එන trains දෙකක් නම් tunnel එකෙන් එක සැරයකට එක පැත්තකට යන කෙනාට විතරයි යන්න පුළුවන්. The other one need to wait. And once one train is passed, the other one should pass the tunnel, because inside the tunnel there is only one way. Out of that there can be two, right? Otherwise coach දෙකයි වෙලා හැප්පෙනවද නේද? So like what we have to assume is inside the tunnel there is only one track. Outside it there can be many, but that question is not explaining about that, which is not a good thing. But if we take the scenario, only one train can be travel from one direction at a given moment. So this replicates the way it happens, the communication inside the half duplex one, right? So the half duplex says you can communicate both the sides, but one side at a time, right? So මෙතන train එකේ scenario එකත් එහෙමයි. දෙපැත්තටම යන්න පුළුවන්, but one direction at a time, right? So you have to take the answers as the second one, half duplex communication through a data channel. Point-to-point communication is something else. Like point-to-point communication, we are talking with the what we call these the advanced network things like subnet mask and all these things. So like it describes the way where we can send a lot of data in a one single channel. It can අපිට දැන් the most simpler way we can talk is the way we are getting the data. අපිට data එන්නේ දුව දැන් එකම line එකේ එක එක frequencies වලට බෙදලා. So it's like having multiple railways inside a tunnel, right? So you can have a lot of trains going here and there inside the tunnel at the very same moment, right? So ඒකට තව technologies add වෙනවා, CDMA කියලා තියෙනවා. It's an advanced thing, but to your syllabus it's only the simplex, half duplex and full duplex. That's all. Point to point communication is not in your syllabus, right? But this particular scenario we can clearly explain it as a half duplex one, right? Lalindi, did you get that? Right, great. So then the seventh one, which one of the following incorrect regarding the local area network lands geographically distributed in small area, which is a correct one, generally owned by a single person or an organization. Yeah, generally it's a single person or an organization is owned. Consist of many shared data communication media with various interfaces. Generally consist of topologies bus, star, and ring. Yeah, so like if we omit the obvious, we are left with the third, because LAN topologies are the bus, star, and ring. It is generally owned by a single person or an organization, geographically distributed in a small area. Those are concrete answers. So those are correct ones. So the third one is the doubtful. So we can go for the incorrect. Consists of many shared communication media with various interfaces. Now, that is also not a very good answer, because if you consider about a mesh topology, all right, okay. Yes, so Himanadi, in here, they given a different answer. The seventh one, they have said, yeah, for this, okay, for the seventh, it's a third. In my, is in my one. How about yours, Himanadi? What is the answer that they have given to you? Yeah, the Himanadi, the correct answer should be the third dual, because that is the one which cannot be taken to the land. Like it's a remote answer, right? අනිත් තුන් දෙනාම ගොඩක් close land එකට. So third can be taken as a incorrect one, right? Okay, so the eighth one, the minimum number of bits required to represent the hexadecimal ACE is 16. Yeah. Now here, since it is a since it contains 3 symbols inside the hexadecimal, we are going to write it. So ACE 16, it says. So A is going to be written in 4 bits, CE is going to be written in 4 bits, and E is going to be written in 4 bits. Right? So these 4 bits are containing the place value of 1, 2, 4, and 8. That's the way we are going to convert these into the binary. Why I am converting it into the binary? Because they are asking how many bits are sufficient. Bits means ones and zeros, right? So A means 10, C means 12, and E means 14. So 10 can be written as 8 plus 2. So the others are going to be zeros. 12 can be written as 8 plus 4. Others are going to be zeros. 14 can be written as 8 plus 4 plus 2. The other one is 0. So the minimum number of bits we need to illustrate the ACE 16 is 12. But be careful. Now the answer for this particular question is 12. But in case if you are given a value something like this, 7 CE. So C and E is going to be the very same pattern, but how you are going to write the 7? It's like this, 0, 1, 1, 1. This is the way you are going to write. On this particular case, if they ask the minimum number of bits that you need to represent the 7 CE, it's not going to be 12, it's going to be 11, because this leading 0 can be omitted or like can be ignored, because since it doesn't have any value, right? So be careful when they are asking about the minimum number of bits. People, did you get that point? great. How about the others? Right, great. Let's discuss the 10th one and end the session for today, right? So the 10th one means, yeah, 2 megabytes contains, right? This will take a little time to discuss. Okay, never mind. Since it is 8:43, let's end the session from this point. So I'm going to discuss the rest by next week. So people who haven't done the 2009 paper, please do it at home and send me the incorrect answers to the group, right? So I can set my working area, what are the things that need to be discussed, right? And people who have done the 2009, try the 2010 for this week, right? So remember, for each and every week, you need to try a paper, right? So don't bother about whether these things are getting hard or easy, or you don't know about these things. Just keep the things that is hard for you and try the things that you can do, right? So we'll discuss why those things are getting hard to you, right? Papers ටිකක් ඉස්සරහට කරගෙන යනකොට ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙයි කතා කරන දේවල් සෑහෙන්න අඩු වෙනවා. ඉක්මනට කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. Right? Okay, people. Thank you very much for today. Right? I'm going to end the session. Yeah, Himanadi. Yeah, sure. Himanadi, please remember this one on the next week as well. Right? So I'll go for that. Right? Okay. Thank you very much, people. So we'll meet to the very same time by next week, right? 7 o'clock in the morning. Thank you and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.